Yeah, I'm good.
All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the currently unnamed project. Basically, I got a bunch of my buddies here today, and what we're going to do is drink beer, talk about FB sports. Hopefully you like what we say. Maybe you don't. I don't really care if they don't. But, first off, we got Shane to my left over here, Brian to my right, and Joe's down on the end with the fancy iPad.
Fancy.
We all have note cards. We broke things. Anyway. Yeah. Joe's new and hip and fancy and all that kind of good stuff.
It comes with a mohawk.
But I know this won't
give you
crash.
Exactly, that's right. Exactly right.
What came with your combos?
Look, I like my food, and I don't like to not have my food, really.
We don't judge around here.
You only live once, and it's not forever. And everybody loves somebody. Somebody will love this. More
Inspiring quotes by Brian, I guess. All right, gentlemen, let's jump right into this. We're full swing in the NBA season right now. We just got done with the All-Star break. Whether you watched it or not is anybody's game. I know I didn't bother because it hadn't really been all that interesting for the last couple of
I watched it.
Yeah?
Nobody broke a sweat. Once again, it was as pointless as ever.
Was it like 189 to 197 or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You know, people jump in. They want to see slam dunks and crossovers and athleticism, but you could play a little basketball maybe.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, basically, if you watch the last 2 minutes,
That's
you get to see all the exhibition that you
This
get
is
to
what I
see.
would watch for.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like porn. You just fast forward to this.
Very true. I can see all that other stuff.
Not the end. Your favorite part.
I take credit.
Usually about 20% in.
Appreciate everybody's watching this or hearing this. You're enjoying this.
Fast forward, just clicked off to ESPN.com or something. Yeah. We've got 3 teams in Texas: the Mavs, the Spurs, and the Rockets. All of which seem to be heading in different directions. Let's start off with the Mavs, who, in my opinion, are going downhill in a hurry.
Very
Quickly.
fast.
Yeah. I know. I mean, you can't. Chris Kamen's been out with his concussion or whatever, calling the test stupid, but I don't think you can blame him being out as their failures.
Definitely.
OJ, what's up?
One thing that's hurt them, dude, is they let Jason Terry leaving.
Oh yeah, the
That
Jet.
takes veteran leadership off of your bench completely, and it takes a scorer off the bench that can support Dirk.
Yeah, I mean, he probably averaged 12 and 16
Yeah.
points a game, and could totally have the ability to drop 25-30 on you. If
Oh
he
yeah,
wanted
of
to.
course. He got hot, and you lost that, and I think that was for Mark Cuban building championships as he says he always is.
Yeah.
That let go was huge against that team because you look at their bench now. Their bench does not produce at all.
No.
There's not one player on that bench you can say is destitute. The Spurs are pulling a Manu Ginobili and producing every time they come on.
Right.
There's not. And that's Jason Terry was huge, and Dirk is.
Dirk's not being Dirk. Dirk's only averaging 15 points a game.
Dirk's fading fast.
OJ Mayo was averaging 17. He was leading the team.
Yeah, I mean, what's Dirk's issue this year? I mean, I know he had the injury and all
Yeah.
that, but
I mean, he's got a
he
career
just
average.
doesn't look like
He doesn't look like Dirk.
at all.
I just think that team is no longer built to support Dirk.
It's old.
Like it was. Well, you can get that old argument. You're going to say the same thing we talk about the Spurs. Is the Spurs are old.
Well,
But you look at the cohesiveness of the team.
yeah.
There's a way to play. I mean, OJ Mayo is growing into his own as a player, and I think if you're going to pull him in and have him score 17 points a game, you build your team around OJ Mayo now.
All right, and then we got Darren Collison too, the point guard.
Right.
Doing pretty good. So, do you think those two guys are enough to build around?
I think so.
Well,
They finally found each other, or found a element
Yeah.
that works for them now.
Here's the other question. OJ Mayo's a free agent at the end of the
That's true.
season.
Right.
Ain't signed a deal yet.
I mean, is he going to stick around? Is he going somewhere else? Is he already shopping?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of goes back to what you said. You know, Cuban building championships. Well, what have you done for me lately? I mean, the last big move I think I remember them making is bringing in Lamar Odom.
That worked out so
Yeah,
well.
didn't it? Didn't it?
For all of 2 games.
So great. But yeah, I mean, if you're choosing to build around Mayo and Collison, you need to show something. I don't know. You know, Cuban's been out there. You know, he's talked about Dwight Howard. He talked about
Right.
Josh Smith, bringing these big names in, but nothing ever happens. You know.
Dwight Howard's going to want to go where Dwight Howard can be the star.
Yeah.
And you see that happening now with the Lakers. It's horrible with the Lakers because Dwight Howard is not the star. And now he's coming out saying, "Oh, I wasn't conditioned. I was sluggish."
Mhm.
That's just excuses to me.
Yeah.
That's Kobe finally getting in his face. And
You
him
can't be
saying-
the star on the Dallas Mavericks. Mark Cuban's the star.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Mark Cuban's a star. I mean, he's always. It's like you can't be a star on Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones is always going to be number one. No
That's
doubt
a
about it.
whole different topic, dude.
But let's move on to the Spurs. It was brought up that they're old as well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I see it. You definitely. I mean, you talk about the Mavs. They have Derek Fisher and Sean Marion, Dirk Nowitzki,
Right.
Vince Carter. You got a bunch of old guys, but from the same regime, the same kind of draft period. Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. Yet these guys are getting it done. I mean, the Spurs might be the best team in the NBA right now. They're in the Western Conference Finals, no doubt about it.
I mean, you look at the record-wise, they are
Yeah.
the best team. They're 4 games ahead of Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
But you look at coaching.
Mm.
You look at Pop. Pop runs a tight ship,
Yeah.
and his stars, old as they may be, understand. And then they have that veteran mentorship over the younger Gary Neal.
Yeah.
Fit right in that. George Hill fit right in that. They let a couple of those players go, but they felt right in that category.
Yeah.
And even, I mean, if you can rein in Steven Jackson,
That was my next point. I'm like, okay, Steven Jackson, when he was first on the Spurs, lit it up. Defense,
Yeah.
decent scorer, and then he goes elsewhere, and suddenly he has these problems. He's bitching about everything, doesn't want to be there, comes back to the Spurs, and he's a perfect player again.
oh yeah, it just goes back to coaching. You look
Yeah.
at the coaching and that whole staff Pop has built. I mean, statistically, the Spurs are at least, in some categories at most, I'll say, 10% better than the Rockets and the Mavs
Yeah.
in statistical categories. And yet, this is a team that everybody calls boring and old and done. But they're consistent. And yes, they fade. Some, like, as past years, they have faded.
Every year. That's been the problem for the last 4 years.
But see,
They're strong through the break, they're strong past the break, but as the season comes to a conclusion, they just kind of ride, and they get into the playoffs,
The stars wear down.
and they don't ramp it back up.
that I can see.
You know, the last time they made it to the conference finals was 4 years ago, I think. 2 years ago, they lost in the first round,
Yeah,
albeit to the Mavs, who won the championship.
Right,
that
now
year.
it's a championship team.
But they just don't seem to have that push to go all the way through the playoffs anymore.
Yeah.
And I can't help but think that would be due to their age.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, you can see the minutes are definitely down. Tony Parker's playing 31, which is a little more than he's doing. I mean,
Right.
it's nice to see him doing his thing, but Timmy's got his minutes down below 30, so maybe, I mean, I know they're trying to keep his legs fresh to get one more run out of
And,
it.
I mean, he's had a complete resurgence. Even last year, he was a different player than the years previous in terms of him being older.
Yeah.
He's looking rookie form.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, he's picked it up.
He's moving, and I still, as a Spurs fan, I hate to see him dribble. Because you see that
It's way too far for a 7-footer's hand and the ball to go down that far.
You see the point guards go, oh, ball's right there. Take. I hate to see him dribble, but he gets going, and he's playing rookie form. And Parker is quietly. If LeBron James wasn't doing what
Yeah,
LeBron
MVP.
James is doing, Parker's MVP.
MVP, dude. He's
No doubt about
21 points, almost 8 assists, 3 rebounds. He shoots 38% from 3-point, 50% from field goal.
How do you not MVP him?
That's
But
MVP
besides
numbers.
LeBron
Yeah.
being what he's doing, LeBron being LeBron.
What?
But if you look at who means more to their team, Parker right now is has to be on the Spurs. Parker goes out. I mean, he's out. I think tonight against the Suns.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see that game and see how he actually functions in that game.
Did anybody see the game versus Clippers?
That was
Spurs just
ridiculous.
made
I
it.
didn't watch it, no.
Tony Parker made Chris Paul look like a freshman in high school.
Oh, yeah.
It was ridiculous. He was running circles around him all
I
game.
mean, when Paul only averaged like 4 points, or
Yeah.
he hit 4 points and 4 assists. I mean, for a all-star
CP3.
caliber, yeah, you produce regardless of who you play, you produce. And you're coming in saying, well, Tony Parker's old, Tony Parker's over the hill, Tony Parker's on his way out, and he's making this young guy
Getting it done.
look ridiculous. And even Blake Griffin, Tim and Blake Griffin, that was a whole different duel right there.
Mm-hmm.
Griffin got his points, but you're looking at what can produce. There's not production. Spurs had 4 people in double digits.
Mm-hmm.
They're 2-star, Timmy and Duncan and Manu, and I think Danny Green
Yeah.
has amazed me in what he's developed into.
Brian, anything coming?
For those of you playing along at home, anytime they said a name I didn't know, I took a drink.
Are we just gonna walk over the Rockets? Or?
Nah, man, we're coming to it. We're coming to it.
That's your team.
That's my team. That's my Rockets team. I ain't got something to chill about. I mean, as a Rockets fan, like I literally 2 years ago, I didn't watch the NBA. I was done with it. They took I was so happy about Pau Gasol. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. But I was. Remember when Pau Gasol, we made a deal that was going to send CP3
that's
to
right,
LA.
yeah.
Pau Gasol was going to come to the
And
Rockets.
They just pulled it out.
Yeah, and then David Stern was like, "No, it's okay." And so I didn't watch the entire damn
Of course,
season.
because there was a league-owned team involved, and
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
But we finally landed our star, James Harden, the beard, and he's blown up. averaging 26 points, more than 26 points a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. He's doing it all. He's showing he can be the star.
His averages are as large as the beard.
Boom, boom. I think it's like Samson. If he ever cuts it off, he's just gonna like fall down and die.
No,
Yeah,
it's
don't do
worse.
it.
It'd be another beard.
And now the Harden, they've had time to gel. They brought Jeremy Lin in, the big sensation from the New York Knicks. He's doing pretty good. He's got turnovers down.
Is he going to be?
Chandler Parsons, second round pick from last year. Don't know if you know the name. Brian don't know the name. That's good. Second round pick out of
I
Florida.
stopped playing after the Spurs, but I don't know the name.
He's 6'10". He's averaging 15 points a game. He's a smaller guy, but he's got good handling skills. I like him going forward. He's got great defense. He can shoot the 3-ball. I think he complements Jeremy Lin and James Harden very well. Also, really like the trade we just pulled off. Thomas Robinson, former Jayhawk.
Yeah, if I'm a
Coming in.
Kings fan, I'm done.
Former
being a
number
Kings fan.
5 overall pick.
I'm done being a Kings fan.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's the Maloofs. We talked about earlier when we were sitting around eating. We were talking about how the Astros sold all their stuff off.
The Maloofs are pulling at Drayton McClain.
Yeah.
I mean,
And so the Rockets got the number 5 pick for starting power forward, backup center, and a backup point guard. I mean, they were all rotational players, no doubt about it. But none of them have the potential that Thomas Robinson does. He can already step in. He's big. He's athletic. He can rebound. He can D up, which is exactly what we need at the power forward position. We can score all the points you want. We're second in the league in scoring. We can drop 106. Problem is, everybody's dropping 110 on us. So I think now that he's out of the Kings organization and actually has coaching and actually sees a team that's looking to win, it's not just looking to make a profit or cut ties and bounce out of here and leave. I'm really excited to see how he develops his offensive game along with that defensive and that rebounding, although I don't know if he's going to stick around that long. I still think Daryl Morey is going to make a play for Dwight Howard in the offseason.
I don't like it.
I don't want it. I really don't.
I don't think that would build a championship here.
The Rockets GM, Daryl Morey, loves Dwight Howard. When at first he was moving for Orlando, Houston was right there offering up 2 first-round picks, Patrick Patterson, Chandler Parsons, basically anything you wanted besides James Harden to get Dwight Howard in here. So I don't know if they go through this season and the offseason comes up and they package up Thomas Robinson, a couple first-round picks, Chandler Parsons, Omer Asik for a move for Dwight Howard, which I think will come, but I'm not real keen on it, I guess you would say. I get, Dwight Howard with James Harden, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Maybe I'm being a homer, but I like the direction of the Rockets. I think the Spurs are always going to be the Spurs, and they're always going to be good, no matter what pops there.
Yeah.
And the Mavs are just grease fire.
I think the Rockets, I like the direction. The Rockets have shown they're willing to stretch.
Yeah.
Mavs.
the Rockets are going the right direction.
Mavs are
The
not.
Mavs.
And
Mark
Cuban-
Cuban is going Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Cuban even said he won't get rid of Dirk.
Yeah. Well,
Dirk won't leave if Dirk leaves. I don't know.
You can. I mean, yeah. If he says, "Hey, trade me into a contender
Yeah.
or something," you do it. But all right. Anyway, that's basketball in the state of Texas. How about we move on to a different sport?
Different sport.
Little football.
I'm up for that.
Football.
Always good.
I can talk a little bit about football.
Yeah.
I can follow that conversation. We did learn me a little something this summer.
That we
did.
did. The re-education of Brian Evans here. This boy has been impressive with his sports knowledge. No doubt about it.
Surprised us.
I was raised in a movie household, not a sports household.
True.
So when it comes to sports, I can tell you plenty about Coach Emilio Estevez, Coach Ed O'Neill, of the Little Giants, but not a whole lot about real sports.
And you remember the time that the Angels saved the Angels?
Yes.
There were once Angels in the outfield.
Joseph
Kenny
Gordon
Glover.
Levitt, way to go.
How about Coach Mac Brown? We're right down the road from Austin. Any of you Longhorn fans out there know what we're about to talk about.
It's been hurt.
It's hurting. I mean, it's been a steady decline for the past couple of years.
This has been a particularly bad year.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can remember way back in the day, everybody bitching and complaining to fire Greg Davis because their offense isn't working. Fire Greg Davis, and Greg Davis is gone, and they did all right, and they're back down in the doldrums.
Your offense isn't working again.
Yeah, and so they hired Brian Harsin to come on in and put that Boise high-flying, fluting, throw the ball all around, and he left. And I don't know, was that when Mac was like, we're going to turn into an SEC team and run the ball down their throat?
Yep.
So I don't know.
Which we never saw.
No.
Yeah.
Man, I drank too much.
And you
for the
have
first
stud
second.
running backs. You have Jonathan Gray,
Yeah.
Bergeron was back there, and Malcolm Brown. Those are stud backs. And
But when you spend all your time in a spread offense,
yeah, exactly.
why do you even have a running back?
Yeah. You need, and Joe Bergeron has no business in a spread offense.
Oh,
no business in a
no,
spread
no.
offense. If you're going to have a running back, you split Gray or somebody, and that way he can line up in the backfield, or you can split him out wide if you need to. But I think the bigger question here, I mean, it still revolves around quarterback.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
They haven't found the replacement quarterback since Vince Young. Yes, Colt came in and did amazing with what he did and with what he had, but he had a talented cast. He had the offensive line to block.
It's true.
He had a running back that produced. He had receivers that could catch the ball, and he actually had an arm.
Yeah.
You transfer over to David Ash, and they're trying to run that same look with David Ash. It doesn't work. You try to run the same look with Case, and Case just watches.
You need to tailor it from player to player. You can't keep running the same
Exactly,
thing, acting like
exactly.
people are the same person.
That to me is the problem. I've heard and I've read articles that say, well, Manny Diaz's defense is not. That defense has led in certain statistics every year since Manny Diaz has been there. It's produced, it's made stops. Granted, 2010 till now, they've had an average of about 100 yards added to what they gave up every year. But that's with turnover. It's going to happen.
And the hype machine comes into play too. You know, ESPN's going to hype UT as number one defense in the nation, top 5 team in the nation.
Why is that? Oh, because they have a.
Oh, they signed a deal with them. Right? That's right.
ESPN and the Longhorns? I thought they were on the Longhorn Network.
Yeah.
I've never watched.
I mean, they had tennis on the other day. I was watching.
I'd rather watch LMN than LHN.
Question. Wow. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
I need a drink.
Hey, there's some interesting stories on LMN.
All right, we're done. We're done.
You can actually see LMN on TV, though.
I think
Many providers carry it.
I mean,
Does the team right the ship with Matt Brown still at the helm?
no.
I don't think so. If you listen to his last couple of press conferences, National Signing Day, he did everything he could to avoid talking about what they've done to move forward, who they signed to move forward. You listen to his presser last week. The only thing he could really talk about was trying to simplify the playbook and speed up the pace.
Yeah.
You're going to simplify the playbook, really. So now you're going to be even more predictable than you already were. So instead of running 6 different plays out of the spread, you're going to run 3. I mean,
Less complications.
It really is.
Well, that's the solution. You should just try the same thing you've been trying, but harder. Try it harder.
And you know,
It'll
sometimes
work.
that's what it feels like with Matt Brown. It's like he determines what we're going to do with this team moving forward, and we're going to do it. Spread offense, or pound the ball like an SEC Alabama team.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take into account the players he has. It's
No.
just like, I'm Matt Brown, we're the Longhorns, what I say goes, and we're going to do it.
He got lucky with Colt because Colt could, speed-wise, run
Yeah.
Vince Young's offense.
He can run, he can
And then once
pass.
Colt left, you brought in Gilbert, which we all saw as
We
a
won't talk about Aaron Gilbert.
absolutely.
And we still wonder why he's starting at SMU.
Nah.
But you look at that, and, okay, check this out. Statistic-wise, Colt came in through 27 touchdowns in 2009, championship game. Moved in the championship game. Since then, 3 different quarterbacks have thrown a total of 27 touchdown passes, averaged a conference high 32 interceptions. 3 different quarterbacks. Because you're running the same offense with lesser talent. And it does not work. I mean,
Which brings up the question, what about Mac's recruiting ability? I mean, absolutely, for years he's been one of the best recruiters in the country.
Oh, yeah.
But the last several years, there's really not a lot being added to the team.
I think the chink in the armor, no doubt about it, old Butterteeth is a charismatic son of a bitch. I mean, he can go into there, and he taught me into going to UT. I have no doubt about it. But it was easier to do when you were winning. You know, when you're on top of the mountain, you can walk in as Matt Brown and just say, "Hey, come on, play for Texas," and they do it. Nowadays, you know, you've got A&M right up the road.
Oh.
That is
blew up.
blowing it up. They've got a hell of a recruiting class. They look like they're set for 2 or 3 years now.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
And they said we couldn't hang in the E SEC.
Never been that
You
time.
got our Miles and Baylor down there building a new stadium. They've got their program rolling. I mean, I still think UT is the premier school in Texas. I mean, I don't think anybody can take that from them.
Not yet.
But recruits don't only want to go just to Texas. It's not their first choice anymore.
I think a huge recruiting tool for recruiters have been, if you go on UT, your games are going to only be on LHN.
Nobody can see it.
And no one's going to see you, and that doesn't give your recruit exposure. That gives your recruit something to worry about. And look at the quality of your home games.
Yeah.
Your home games haven't had A+ quality in about 3-4 years.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
and you want a recruit to come in from, say, Alabama.
We do have the Notre Dame games coming.
And I mean, when you play the
2020.
number one team every week, and number one defenses every week,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with Max saying that he doesn't want the players he has to fight for, he wants the players that
Yeah,
Yeah,
want to come.
yeah.
I remember that quote.
ridiculous?
I remember that quote.
I mean,
How do you?
are you taking all 2 and 3 star recruits now?
Oh yeah. How as a recruiter can you say, you know what? If I offer you your junior year, and you say you're coming, you're going to honor it. If not, if you even look at A&M, we're pulling our offer. That to me means, you know, if A&M tells me I'm going to come in and start, I'm going to go to A&M.
Yeah.
If A&M's telling me I got a year before I start, I'm going to A&M, or I'm going to TC, or I'm going to
Yeah.
Baylor. He's pulling the. This is my ball going home. You guys will let me be on play second
It's
base.
the same thing with coaching. He's got Mac Brown. He's got his way, and this is the way it's going to be. And
Yeah.
if you're not on board, you're not going to go.
But it does not work. You're a big fish in a small pond with other little fishes. That worked out.
Yeah.
Baylor blew up, A&M blew up. Oklahoma's still there. Oklahoma's been that fish, waiting to get in still. But Oklahoma's right there. I mean, around him, you now have other big fish.
And now with A&M in the SEC, you've also got the rest of the SEC
Right.
looking this
Oh,
direction.
Texas, yeah.
And Matt Brown cannot swim in that pond anymore.
Absolutely not.
And unless you adapt, you don't grow, you don't live.
And what top prospect?
Yeah.
What top prospect is not going to listen to pitches from every school that comes over?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well,
You want the
we've
best
seen it.
deal.
I mean, Ricky Seals Jones flipped, to A&M
Yeah.
because of the SEC. Lyman just flipped too. Dave recruiting. He was going to Washington.
Oh, what is his name?
Deshaun something.
Paul.
Paul?
John Hall?
Yeah.
The DE? Defensive
Yes.
lineman?
He was going. He was set in almost to go to Texas. Said, okay, I'm gonna go to Washington. Then
He's gonna
A&M
start.
came knocking on the door. He said, oh, I'm going to A&M.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
last second, when that SEC comes knocking, players are listening.
Yeah, I don't think
Absolutely.
there's one player in the world that's going to be like, Nick Saban wants to come meet with me?
Yeah.
Nah, it's okay, Nick. I don't need to hear what you have to say. Nah.
And then what five-star player is not going to take the once in a lifetime opportunity to get treated like a king?
Absolutely. It's the SEC.
Yeah.
7 of the last 8 national championships. 3 out of the last 4 for Alabama alone.
And what happened when Texas got to play the SEC, UT in Alabama?
That was
yeah.
curb stomped.
Was that pretty? No.
No.
But hey, they beat Mississippi State.
Yeah. And
Ole Miss.
go ahead and look at the schedule next season, Longhorns, and see how many good teams you're playing.
Seeing what Texas has done, it makes you feel like the 80s and early 90s when Texas was not relevant again. And they're
Absolutely.
falling right back into that little role.
And I think they will, until Mac leaves.
And I think that's hard for all these T-shirt fans to stomach, but it's what's happening. Until they get rid of Mac, and they say, oh, Mac. Right now, Mac Brown is the best thing that's happened to A&M. Mac Brown's lost odds. Why?
Absolutely.
Because of recruiting and the LHN.
Well, you lost odds. That's a whole other conversation.
Well, the conversation.
But
I
what about what Kevin Sumlin has done?
Hey. I mean, 1 year.
1 year.
What was the University of Houston thinking when they got rid of Kevin Sumlin?
Oh.
You won't recruit in Houston? We don't want you around. You took us to our first bowl games in years, but you won't recruit in Houston, so we don't want you around.
I don't think he. I mean, I agree there was that, but
it
Kevin Sumlin's going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He was
in
going to
time.
be paid.
Oh, yeah.
He had at least 2 or 3 years left in Houston before that happened.
I mean, A&M jumped on him quickly.
But
they
it was a great
recognized
move
him.
for Kevin Sumlin. That's the
Right.
best thing that could have happened to him.
Good move for A&M.
And he made the right move.
Yep.
A&M's winning. Kevin Sumlin's winning.
A&M's winning.
And that's gonna be a long
That's the
term.
thing.
It was like, because it was a big transition coming from a pro style offense. I mean, it was a West Coast / pro style that Mike Sherman ran there. But Kevin Sumlin didn't run semi pro style, but he's a spread. I mean, there's 4 or 5 wide receivers
yeah.
out there all the time, and that's a big transition with players.
That he used to
Easy Iwachu, Ryan Swope, that have been playing in the same system for 3 or 4 years
Yeah, and
to move right over.
you had your holdouts, and if you look at C-Mike,
Yeah.
Christian Michael was that one player that wasn't getting the showtime that he wanted, that he thought he was going to get in an offense like that he was
Yeah.
led to believe under Mike Sherman he was going to get, and he acted out, did what he did, got suspended. But then you look at Ben Molina who steps up.
Yeah.
That's the thing that these players have to realize now is that you're sitting at a school that is red hot. There is somebody waiting in the wings right now to take that spot if you act up or you don't want it or you get suspended or whatever. And Ben Molina, hadn't started ever because of what was sitting in front of him. But it just took that one opportunity. Now I could see him challenging for being starter next year.
Oh, no doubt about it. He's talented enough.
He has the willingness to go in there and work.
Yeah.
And
he's got to, because I mean his size and his stature, and he's not as talented as say
he's
Trey
not a burner.
Williams.
He's not a burner at all.
Or Brandon Williams, somebody like that. But a player like that will get in there and bust their ass every time. Yeah, that's the type of player you want. Exactly.
Yeah. And then you look at the recruiting class they brought in. My God, me as an Aggie fan have never been excited on signing day.
I could not tell you the last time I was excited.
And I was thoroughly thrilled every time I was like, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. I was like, yes.
I mean, like, I honestly can't tell you the last time I was excited about a recruiting class. I mean, we didn't know about Johnny Football coming in. Nobody knew he was going to be that good or anything like that. But even going back to the days of R.C. Slocum,
Oh, yeah.
it was never, oh my God, National Signing Day. Yeah, we got this. It was always the Longhorns were up there, or the Florida Gators, or Ohio State Buckeyes. Always at the top of that. Well, Aggies weaseled their way on into the top 10. And they've got some depth on the O-line. They've got some depth on the D-line. They brought in some burners at wide receiver, at linebacker, the secondary. They improved. I mean, I say improved before the prospects even get on the field. But they improved every single position they needed to.
Oh, yeah. Receiver has thoroughly been changed. From
defensive backs, linebackers.
Yeah.
I mean, they
are deep at every position.
Exactly. And it's like what Joe was talking about there is if you get in the doghouse like C-Mike did, there used to be, maybe that's just that player behind you that's getting ready to do it. Now, there's one or two players behind you that are wanting your job and they're going to take it.
It's
amazing
to see that defense go from being one deep last year to suddenly being 2 to 3 deep at a position. And then secondary has improved. I mean, why? My God.
I like Mark Schneider, and he did a good job.
That defense is going to be stout. That defense has brought in enough heavy hitters to challenge those running backs in the SEC. And that was a big question mark last year. And the defense played up, and they stretched themselves thin. They played up to what statistically what they had to play to, and they held. And then you saw in the bowl game what that defense could have done against the Big 12.
Right.
And if they didn't say Big 12 champion, that's champion.
Oh, no doubt. We got no doubt.
By far.
I missed the UTA
and
game.
Probably a trip to the national championship.
Oh yeah.
I would have liked to have shown that off this year over the UTA and would have been the perfect year.
Actually, that's a good. All right,
wouldn't this have been our year to play in Austin?
Yep.
I believe it would have.
In the rotation.
All right, that's a good. We'll round it out with this. It was brought up a while back. Texas legislator, looking to basically force A&M and UT to play each other. Agree or disagree?
Disagree. The legislature has no business in sports other than basic safety regulation.
Agree or disagree?
As a whole, I disagree. But on a legislative standpoint, the revenue it would have brought into the state, I agree. I can see what they would have generated and what it meant to the state. And you got to understand, those legislative guys are there for their constituents. And granted, I really think they're there so that the guy who graduated from UT can brag against the guy who graduated from A&M. In-house. But that makes sense to me. Now, I disagree with it because I don't think it should be forced.
Right.
I think we should sit back and watch the decline of UT, and then once the loss is gone, we come back in and A&M just completely slaughters them because of what they became. I think it's
the rebellious liberal in me says that the government shouldn't dictate when we play our games, but the fan in me says, oh my God, I would have loved to see us crush UT this year. In their hometown, Midnight Yellow, the capital.
Yeah, buddy. That's kind of where I am. I disagree. I don't
down with a hot UT chick.
Because that's happened how often?
They need to play each other, no doubt about it. I disagree with it because I don't think it should take the Texas government getting involved for these two teams to play each other. We hated each other and played each other for years upon years upon years upon years.
It's a built-in rivalry.
Yeah, and I agree. It brings everybody in the state of Texas wants to see it. It brings a whole lot of money to the state of Texas. It should not take the Texas legislator stepping in and saying, "Hey, let's play." And I don't know if A&M's high right now and UT's low, and maybe if it was reversed, maybe the A&M people say, "Well, I don't think we really should," but the players want to play each other.
Correct.
I mean, regardless of money and who's better, and you left, so we don't want to play you anymore. Every damn player on the A&M side wants to line up on the UT side. And they want to go at it. That's what they grew up. Every Thanksgiving they were ready to go. So I think let's give it 4 or 5 years, and that's too long for me, but that's what it's going to take. Let everything calm down, and if they don't get their shit together and play each other, somebody needs to step in and say do it.
Well, you look. I think what they're waiting for, what UT is waiting for, and it's the arrogance of UT. UT is waiting for
Johnny Football League.
no that too, but UT is waiting for A&M. UT was hoping, I'll say, A&M to completely blow it in the SEC and come crawling back and
They
say
said we couldn't hang in the SEC.
Say, please play us, we need that team, we want it back, please play us. And now that foot's on the other foot, and it's basically
Yeah, you got that too.
the shoe was on their foot. You know what I meant?
The foot's on the other foot. They're dancing with two left feet. Folks.
Yes.
Edit number 4.
It's Brian Quick movie, Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy.
Trading Places, 1982. Jamie Lee Curtis's breasts.
Edit number 4. It's trading places all over again. Suddenly UT's the rich guy on the way on the street saying, we won't play anybody, please play us. And A&M saying, well,
Gentlemen's bet mode.
4 years would be too long. 4 years, and Arkansas will be established as a rival again. Alabama, if this continues, will be established as a rival again because we're apparently the only team in the nation that can challenge Alabama now.
No,
And,
you're right.
And that's going to take the place. A&M could say no. Okay, we'll schedule you. AQ. We'll schedule you outside of schedule, I guess.
This showdown is going to be a thing of the past. It's going to be history.
Yeah.
He's right. We're going to pick new rivals.
I don't think so. I got to disagree. I mean,
You don't think
There will
I think there will be.
still stand?
No, I think there will be new rivals. I mean, you can already see what he's talking about with
Yeah.
Arkansas and Alabama slowly developing. That's going to happen, no doubt about it. UT&M is never going to go away.
That will always be big brother, little
It
brother.
will always be.
They're too close together. They're
It
too
is.
big. The rivalry is too old.
It
It
will
is.
not hold the significance that it had, though. That's what I think.
Well, if you're
Why?
coming
Because
out-
they led conference?
If you're coming from different
because
conferences,
it's going to take too long to lapse, and no one's going to care. I mean, look right now. A&M, LSU, A&M, Arkansas, in the Southland Conference, those were rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Those were hardcore. Now it's like, okay, well, we're getting back into the mix. Let's see. Let's see what happens. We'll develop and stuff like that. If the UT, and yes, I'm putting this firmly on UT. If UT waits that long, it's going to be the same story. It's going to take that while to generate itself back because A&M fans will have moved on. Longhorn fans will have lost interest.
I disagree, but we'll leave it as an agree-disagree.
My last thing on the statement, I will say, there has never been a point growing up where you don't hear UT paired with, are you a Longhorn? Are you an Aggie?
It's true. In the state of
But
Texas, it's one
right
matters.
now, it's going two separate ways. And it continues on its paths.
What are kids going to do from the windows of buses to truck drivers now?
Are you a Longhorn? Boomer Sooner!
All right, roll it.
Horn!
We've addressed some topics in Texas. I think we're going to take a halftime for a little bit, go grab another beer or so. We'll be back in just a little bit.